Greetings to all viewers. We are here in Hainan province, China, to bring you live coverage of one of the most terrifying storms in Asia this year. Super Typhoon Yagi. With powerful winds reaching up to 144 miles per hour, it has swept away everything in its path, from trees to even the most solidly built houses. Violent waves as high as towering walls of water continuously crash onto the shore, signaling an unavoidable disaster. The entire region is engulfed in panic, as landslide and flood warnings have been issued everywhere. People are being forced to evacuate, but the destruction caused by nature seems to have no limits. You can see here, Typhoon Yagi is not just about strong winds, but also brings with it raging floodwaters that have submerged the entire city. The once peaceful streets have now turned into muddy rivers, with no distinction between roads and canals anymore. Many buildings, unable to withstand the storm's immense power, have collapsed in an instant. Residents in this area have been forced to evacuate urgently, but many remain trapped in their homes as escape routes are flooded. Rescue teams are working tirelessly to reach the isolated areas, but the situation is extremely difficult due to the harsh weather conditions. At Haikou International Airport, as you can see, all operations have come to a complete standstill. All flights have been canceled, leaving thousands of people stranded with no way out. Many are forced to take shelter in temporary facilities as they cannot leave Hainan province. Those who once hoped to escape the storm must now face the full wrath of nature. Authorities have ordered the closure of all major roads to prevent people from moving into dangerous areas. The current situation is extremely tense, with the danger increasing as the storm continues to strengthen. Hundreds of thousands of people here are facing an extremely dangerous situation. Roads that once served as escape routes now turned into raging rivers. Floodwaters are rising at a terrifying speed, making evacuation incredibly difficult. These families have had to leave all their valuable possessions behind, taking only the most essential items with the hope of escaping safely. But even as they flee, heavy rains continue to pour down, increasing the danger for those still trapped, and the rescue teams working tirelessly around the clock. From above, the image we see is truly horrifying. The entire Hainan province appears to be submerged in a sea of water. Major transportation routes have been completely cut off. Thousands of people remain trapped in flooded areas, waiting for assistance from authorities. Helicopters and rescue boats are operating at full capacity to reach the isolated areas, but the level of destruction is so immense that access is extremely difficult. This is truly a race against time, as rescue teams are giving their all in these precious hours to save as many as they can. National Special Forces have been deployed to Hainan and Guangdong provinces to respond to Typhoon Yagi. However, the extremely harsh weather is presenting major challenges for movement and rescue efforts. Heavy rains have caused landslides along many routes, and floodwaters have submerged all roads, making access to critical areas incredibly difficult. Yagi is not just a natural disaster, it is the greatest test rescue forces have faced in years. They are fighting relentlessly against time and nature to help the people, but the road ahead remains full of challenges. All major cities in the area affected by Yagi have been completely locked down. Authorities have ordered the closure of all non-essential businesses. Schools have been canceled and public transportation has ceased to operate. People are being asked to stay indoors for their safety. But the worrying issue is that many still do not realize the severity of the situation. We strongly advise that everyone strictly follow the authorities' instructions to avoid finding themselves in unforeseen and dangerous situations. The massive waves of Super Typhoon Yagi caused unprecedented destruction in the South China Sea. In coastal areas, numerous fishing boats have capsized. Many large cargo ships have been swept away by the waves, causing severe damage to fishermen and maritime transport. The waves, reaching up to 10 meters high, have destroyed everything in their path. Frightening reality is that this storm shows no signs of weakening, and what we are witnessing may only be the beginning. Even the large bridge connecting Hong Kong, Macau, and Zhuhai has not escaped Yagi's destructive force. With the threat of flooding and strong winds, authorities have decided to close the bridge, bringing traffic between the cities to a complete standstill. Thousands of vehicles have been stranded, unable to move, and the situation has become extremely tense, as many major roads have also been blocked. This is one of the rare times we witness such a severe level of lockdown. Dear viewers, Super Typhoon Yagi has not only caused heavy damage in China, but also in the Philippines before making landfall here. At least 16 people have lost their lives in the Philippines, and now China is facing the full wrath of nature. Meteorologists say this storm could last for several more days, and the worst may still be yet to come. We will continue to bring you the latest updates on this disaster in our upcoming reports.